Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Creepy Basement, aka the Axe Workshop. So today I want to show you guys how I sharpen my Bps Adventurer knife. Now, my method of sharpening isn't exclusive to just this knife or just to a Scandi grind. This could be applied to a bunch of different kinds of grinds, a bunch of different knives. In fact, I use this method of sharpening for my EDC as well. So this could probably use some sharpening. So I'll show you that on this knife as well. Guys, I've never really been good at sharpening my knives in a traditional fashion. And what I mean by traditional is like you have a bench stone, and whether you use oil or water, doesn't matter. What you do is you hold the knife at the bevel angle and you either pull or push the knife on the stone. I've never been good at that. For some reason, I just really struggle with holding the knife at the correct angle, and I always end up with this like mediocre sharpness where like it kind of works, it's okay, but it's not super sharp. And about a month ago I made a long-term review video on this knife, and turns out there's a bunch of other people out there that also struggle with the traditional way of sharpening a knife, and people reached out to me and asked sharpening tips and asked if I can make a video on sharpening. And then it became clear to me, like, hey, I'm not the only person that struggles with this. And of course they make guides that go underneath your knife and hold it at the correct angle, or you got the work sharpener, and you have like these jigs that go and mount to tables where the knife is in a fixed position, and then it has like this armature that does that. But that's all well and good, but when you're out in the woods and you have to sharpen your knife and touch up the blade or whatever, you really only have the skill you develop with sharpening a knife, and apply that to your stone. You only have a knife and a stone out in the woods. So hopefully this video can help some people out. My way of sharpening is a little unorthodox. It's a little awkward. It's tough to get used to, but it's, for me, easier to get used to than this, because I've been doing this since I was a kid, and I'm 30 years old and I still can't get a good edge out of it. So I'm going to quit running my mouth, and I'm going to get my little pocket stone and my strop, and then I'm going to show you guys how to get this done. And hopefully after today's video, you guys that are struggling like I am can have a wicked sharp knife by the time we're done with this video here today. Alrighty guys, so the stone that I use to sharpen my knives with is just this little dual grit sharpening stone, this little pocket stone, and one side's 800 and the other side's 250. So I guess I'll bring you guys in a little closer, and that way you could see just how I get this done. Alrighty guys, so this is how I do it. I take my little pocket stone, I start on the heavier grit side, and just like sharpening an axe, I bring a stone to the tool. So you're gonna lay it on the knife. You see that gap there? You're gonna close the gap. Now you're on your actual edge angle there. And just like an axe, just do little circles. You're gonna go up the blade and back and forth, back and forth. You're gonna develop a burr, and you flip it to the other side, and you do the same thing on the other side. And then when you're ready, you'll flip to your fine grit. So I'll show you guys how we do it. Oh, and another way you could do it too, and I find myself doing this a lot, especially out in the woods when I don't have like a table to plant my hands on. I'll put it on my knee like this. I'll match the angle, and I'll just do it like that. And after you get used to doing it, you'll be able to hear the difference. If your blade's away from you like that, so you can't really see too well if you're on the angle, you could look and see that you're there, but you'll be able to hear the change in pitch. You'll know when you're there. You sit here and just do a little of that. Flip it to the other side. You want to be careful. This is a little pocket stone. It doesn't take much to go a little too far and sink that knife into your thumb there. So just take caution when doing this, guys. It is probably a little safer to bring the knife to the stone, but like I said, this is for those that struggle with that, like myself. Go back the other way, just to show you that both ways do work just fine. And essentially doing the same thing. It's just a little more difficult this way because everything's moving around. So like I said, you'll get used to it, but it's really, really easy, guys. All right, now we'll flip to our fine side. Show you the other way again. And I can't stress this enough, guys. Keep clear of your fingers. There's not much material here. It's not like an axe sharpening puck where you got a lot of room. I've been cut many times doing it like this, so really pay attention. In fact, I've probably been cut more times sharpening a knife or an axe than I have actually using them. Which is really not surprising. I'm sure that goes for other folks as well. You know, you're in the shop, you're in the woods, sharpening, not paying attention. You look up for 1 second and bam, nice cut. All right, so actually I'll show you guys on this knife as well. You know, this has a different kind of grind on it. I don't know what kind of grind that's called, but the cutting area is very, very small out here on the edge. So, you know, versus the Scandi grind where you have a big area to lay this on, but it works essentially the same way. You just find the angle, and obviously with a smaller blade, it's a little awkward, but it can be done. And like I said, it's way easier for me than laying it on the stone and trying to match that angle, because I could see what I'm doing, and I'm not moving the knife, I'm moving the stone. I'll show you out on my leg. All right, then I just finish up with the strop, and I kind of do the strop the same way. I just bring the strop to the knife. And if you're ambidextrous, you could do it the other way. And I'm not, so it's awkward. Because it's definitely weird to pull towards yourself like this, but you could do it. Like I said, do it with your opposite hand. Just takes a little getting used to. Oh yeah, that's sharp there. So, you know, what's a knife sharpening video without a little bit of paper? Got some bills here, medical bill, back from when I got stitches. So I'll show you guys. That's it, guys. It works. It works, it works, it works. For some reason, I could never do that with a traditional way of sharpening on a stone, but my stupid, awkward way of doing it, oops, I can make a knife stupid sharp. So if you guys are struggling with sharpening. Hopefully this helped you out. Alrighty guys, so I think that about does it for today's video. So it just goes to show you guys there's other ways of sharpening. So if you are having trouble with one way, maybe get a little creative and try something else, and maybe it just might work for you. Yeah, this way is a little awkward. It's a little weird to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's really not that bad. And for me, I was able to adapt to this way of sharpening versus the traditional way. Like I said, I tried doing it the other way for years just because it was the correct way to sharpen. But like I said, it just goes to show you it's not the only way. It may be the correct way, but it's not the only way. So I'll leave you guys with a little more paper cutting before I go. That just goes to show you guys, you too can have a crazy sharp knife, just like all the guys in the cool YouTube videos with their special knife sharpening systems. You can make your knife just as sharp. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.